Hey guys, I'm Gage.
I'm Adam.
I'm Jordan.
This is the Beaver Fever talking show.
Beaver Fever. It's a podcast.
It's a podcast.
Yeah. We don't go around saying Beaver Fever podcast because you don't have to.
Weird.
Just, hey, do you watch Beaver Fever?
Do you listen
and
to
it's
our...
like, hey, what's that? Like, it's a podcast. Do you listen to it? Yeah, you don't have to watch us. You can listen to us.
Sweet
Sensational? Is that what you're going for?
Serenading
voices.
That's the word I was looking for. Our sweet serenading voices in your ears.
Our sweet serenading voices.
Sweet sterilizing voices.
Our voices are so powerful, they're projecting radiation through your screens and sterilizing you as we speak.
Yeah, exactly. That's what that tingle in your nuts is.
Yeah.
It's not just our voices being beautiful.
You should have read the disclaimer. It was one frame at the beginning of the video. I don't know why you didn't pause
Like,
it.
if there's any other tingling, you should like maybe see a doctor because like that's not right. Just saying. Tingling of any kind.
All right. So
what are you talking about? My right arm tingles all the time.
That's probably not good, man.
I'm just kidding.
So this time around, so first of all, we should mention we've had a few rehearsals at this point.
Yeah.
We filmed like three episodes.
Three episodes. One worked. The first episode.
Issues.
Yeah.
Had some stuff.
The second two episodes we recorded didn't. The sound was, well, it would make your ears bleed if we posted it. So that's really
not
not
just
what you
because
want
Gage
out of a
was talking.
podcast.
Sorry.
And then I guess the mic didn't record last time. We tried to shoot this one, so it's good now.
Yeah.
Everything's going now, so.
We're all looking at the
You're
screen.
gonna watch the
Yes, the
screen.
mic is working.
All right.
All right.
So I think the first thing I want to talk about, Jordan had some talking points.
Yeah,
for
I
us.
made up some talking points just so we had, if we
To the cellulars.
move off somewhere where we, don't
Way
know where
off.
we're going, we can bring ourselves back on track somewhere.
What is this Union Station thing?
Oh, you actually want to know about that first? Okay, sure. It was just it was trending on Twitter because there was a huge amount of people being backed up after work today because there were protesters somewhere along the line that were stopping all sorts of trains and all sorts of stations.
But what were they protesting?
An oil line. What is the? I got the name of it here.
Coastal
Actually,
Gas
it's right
Link.
there, yeah, Coastal Gas Link. It's the Wet Sweat N. I believe that's
Wet Sweat N.
possibly how it's.
Wet sweat end.
Wet sweating.
It's a
Wet sweat.
it's a tribe, and they want to build the
Oh jeez.
pipeline through their land.
Now I feel like an idiot.
Yeah. So, anyways, this isn't the tribe specifically,
okay.
but there's been supporters protesting for quite a while, all over Canada and in the U.S. too. There's been people showing their support in the U.S. as well. So that's what that was all about. And I read some tweets. Somebody said it was literal bedlam. I don't know. That might be a little bit excessive.
That's a big word, Jordan. What's bedlam mean?
It's something.
Put it on
I think, is it
description
not
file.
supposed to have some relation to hell? You guys, I don't have to turn around. I have to turn around. You guys look it up.
God damn it.
All right, I
Pretty
got
sure
this.
it's related to hell.
Bedlam.
Yeah, there you go. I could have just asked.
Bedlam?
Well, I'm pretty sure there's only one.
Noun. Bedlam. A place or situation of chaotic
scene of
uproar.
Chaotic
and confusion.
Right. So I mean, you could say hell is chaotic uproar of confusion. So I mean, you could,
Or if it's
sure.
obsolete, an insane person, a lunatic, a madman. So if I were to be like
Essentially-
Jordan,
Essentially,
bedlam.
somebody was saying it was just absolute, which maybe, but I've always felt like that was a very strong word. That's like at the most extreme level.
I could
Like, that
feel
makes
though
me think of
like
people like rioting and like throwing garbage
I
cans.
feel like there
I
would
feel like it was-
generally be a lot of people at Union Station to begin with, so the trains backing up would
Oh,
probably
it
be
would be-
pretty chaotic.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm sure angry people and stuff, but I
It's
don't.
like Black
mean,
Friday
were
chaotic.
people like rioting or something? Like I didn't. It just sounded like it was just a lot of.
Union's the one in New York, right?
No, that's in Toronto. Union Station in Toronto.
What's the big station in Toronto or in New York? Sorry.
Grand Central.
Grand Central.
Okay. I've been trying to think where Union Station is because it sounded familiar, and I'm like, it's not Maybe it's New York. Okay, but anyway, apparently it's Toronto. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
The New York
Now
of
I know.
Canada.
That one and many other stations as well. But yeah, so
Now-
that was the thing.
That being said, like if you look at the amount of people that drive alone in Toronto, that's a lot of people moving. So I mean, like, there has to be a lot of people relying on like public transportation. So I imagine
there is a lot.
I imagine a backup of
Yeah, dude.
any kind is.
Oh, Jordan's got pictures.
Also, is this not the most Canadian-looking protest picture?
I'm gonna need you to.
It's very
move.
calm.
Here, I'll put it on the big screen.
That's pretty Canadian, yeah.
It's like the most.
Half of them look like they're cold.
And they're just
Yeah.
Hell no, we won't go. Holy fuck, it's cold.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Go train. Oh, Jordan's
Is
gonna
that
be able to
like
read
that's
it.
annually. It's like 60 million, whatever. It was like 215,000 people use the GO train out of Union Station a day. I think it was.
Holy shit.
So
Yeah.
imagine
I'll
like
post a link to the article again.
depending on what time it was at. Imagine how many
Well,
people.
this takes 60
It was
million.
after. It was like rush hour after work.
Yeah, there's a
it was the worst
shitload of
time.
people there.
Yeah.
Like, I've been on
Yeah.
the subways when they're busy in Toronto, and they're pretty packed to begin with. Let alone, nobody being able to go anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet it would be pretty nightmarish. But is that not the point of a protest? Is to cause
Chaos.
inconvenience and
Make
Not
people think
necessarily
of
chaos,
Make
but just-
make people think about
Well,
why
that's just like,
people are
yeah.
protesting.
the point. Not only that, it's like, oh, this thing that we're doing is causing people to cause mass inconvenience for many other people and businesses, and it's just not good. And then it makes the people who can change things think about
How do?
maybe this isn't a good idea,
Yeah,
maybe.
that's fair.
But also, it doesn't always work. But people who say it never works, I mean, take a
Obviously,
look at
that-
history.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be where we are today if there weren't civil rights movements and social activists who went out and protested for what they wanted. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you can look
We've
at
just become very lazy, so not enough people
I think maybe
put
that's
the
it.
effort in.
Laziness. I think a lot of people take to like the internet and they think they can do their social activism there, which to an extent you can, but
You're not going to make any changes.
if you're not going out of your way to make it harder for somebody else to go about their day, it's easy for people to ignore you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's where a lot of it has gone. You see it all the time. People protesting their opinions on
On the
the internet.
I just feel there has to be a better way to prove your point than inconveniencing like 200,000 people.
Because it's the important
Well-
people in that 200,000 are
Well,
trying to
it's-
inconvenience.
Yeah, it's not.
Think about if you were a rich billion-dollar guy and
Right, and I'm
you're-
getting on the subway at fucking Union Station.
Not only that
Yeah.
though, no, it's the business owners
you're
too,
gonna like
and it reflects like the people. So if you're usually when you're protesting something, oftentimes it's so the government will step in, or maybe you're protesting to a company so they'll change their mind, or both. You want one to happen. You're just protesting in general. So somebody does something, and makes changes, and it. So and from a government standpoint, they're looking at all this. There's public transit that's being shut down. Well, that's not good. We can tell people not to protest and we can arrest people, but that's not going to stop people. They're still going to do it. Like, what can we do to stop this? That's the right.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying in general. Like there has to not just like that one in particular, but like there has to be a better way to put your point across.
Well, there is, but
than-
the point is that a lot of times they don't listen until you shout loud enough and like, okay, well, right, the first option, and it's sad that it is this way, but the first option on any business or government, really, this is who you protest to, right? First thing on their mind isn't to sit down and talk. It's just to do things their way.
Go
and
around
ignore
you.
the problem. Move the problem out of the way. It's not until the problem doesn't get the hell out of the way that they're like, oh shit, okay,
no,
we
you gotta
have
actually
to sit
figure
down,
this
right?
out. Yeah.
Right.
If they from the
but-
beginning, you're right. What could be done is governments and businesses and corporations could just right from the get-go just sit down and talk about things and try and figure things out from a logical viewpoint instead of just taking the strong arm approach from the beginning and forcing people to take action. So I mean,
Think about how the schools are striking now. Yeah, that's inconveniencing the education
lot of
system
parents,
and a lot of parents
yeah.
and like exactly.
not
But
us, but I mean
that's
But to hear me out, they're not getting the things they need to do their jobs properly. So yeah, they're going to inconvenience the people that are going to help make a difference, like the schooling systems, the government.
Right.
That's pissing off the government.
That's fine because that's backed by like a legitimate foundation of something. But what I'm trying to fucking say is that having mass groups of people block train tracks or block highways does nothing but piss off people like myself who have fucking shit to do.
It makes the very point I just said at the beginning is you can't say that it doesn't work because history has proven that it has. Look at gay rights. LGBTQ community wouldn't be where they are if they didn't stage mass protests and gatherings that inconvenienced others and made them pay attention. Look at African Americans. What do you think? You think when they marched through Thelma that they were like, "Oh, this is totally not going to inconvenience anybody. We're just gonna do it, and everybody's gonna be able to go about their lives, and people are gonna pay attention to us anyways." No, man, it was to cause a scene to make people look and be like, "Okay, we're listening." Like that's the point, and it works, and it doesn't have to be that way.
But when
people will talk from the beginning, but
and I understand that there's some points that like need to be protested. I get that. Like I don't know, man. Black people rising up against people rising up against slavery is not on the same level as fucking blocking logging trucks because you want to save trees. Like, come on, man. What you're doing is pissing off an industry of workers before. Like, yes, okay, maybe in the end the government's gonna say shit. We should logging companies for a specific example. We should do
something about it, but what? You're not giving answers. This is proven results. You're just saying, well, isn't there something else to do? Well, there is. Talk about it, but that's not what happens. That's not what happens.
They have to piss off the logging companies for the logging companies to be like, okay, there's got to be a better way. They won't talk
until they get pissed off. Yeah. And is that the people's fault? No.
It's
not their fault for not wanting to get trampled over by corporations. Like, that's bullshit.
In the way of the oil lines, I see it as, I'm not one... Tiff made a point the other day, she was like, oh, can't they just think of all the area in the world, like, can't they go around
How many places could you put it instead?
Exactly. How many places could you put it instead? And sure, yeah, on the same note, that's going to cost the company a lot of money. That's why they're like, that's why we're going to build it through your sacred grounds.
Or whatever,
which pisses off the people.
Whatever, building.
Yeah. The people are like, no, like, there's other places. Do it there. Sure, it's going to cost you Joe Blow making trillions of dollars a year on oil, but you're not using our land.
They're looking to save the most amount of money, and they don't care who
they piss off.
Exactly.
So then they piss off the people, and the people are like, no, don't use our land. You have your own land.
Yeah, and they're like, no, we're doing it anyways. Yeah. So then that's when people step in and like, okay, well, we're going to inconvenience you.
Till you don't do it your way.
Till you at least let us talk about it. At least let's try and figure it out. Sit down and talk to us.
Now, on the same level, I feel pipelines are a lot better than, transporting it with
that's been proven. Like that kind
of
stuff. The oil thing is a tricky situation just because a huge amount of our economy is built off of the oil industry. The thing is, like, we're a wealthy country. Like, we're really well off. We talk about people in debt and country, debt and deficits and all that shit. But when you look at the grand scheme of things, we're doing pretty good on the global scale.
Yeah.
We don't have to be going through so much effort to pump such a large amount and constantly be doing it. We could be putting our energy into in converting away from that. I'm not saying cut it off
what they're trying to go for, though.
That's a bad thing, right? Eh?
They are aiming towards that. I read something not long ago that they want to be by 2050, I think, like solar power, like alternative energies.
Oh, like green energy. Yeah, but I don't think they said they want to stop producing oil.
No, they do. No, they need oil to make
carbon. They want to reduce carbon footprint by a certain percentage or whatever by a certain year. But I don't think they said that they wanted to stop. I don't think Canada's said they want to stop producing oil by 20.
Yes, I'm thinking more on the terms of like using it as a source of power as much as it is used for other things.
No, I'm not even using it. I'm talking about we produce it. We pull it out of the ground and
I
we
know.
sell
Yeah,
it.
that's what I mean.
Where we make a huge amount of our economy.
Yeah.
A lot of the reason our
oh yeah,
country
they're not going to
exists is
stop
because of it.
like gathering oil. What I mean is they want to move away from us using it.
Well, that's fine. What I'm
if
saying
other countries
is
can use it, we don't give a shit.
We have so much industry here. We have so many creative people and so much potential. And innovation that we could take that and capitalize on that instead of just pull. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's not like just cut it off cold turkey because
you can't do that.
Can't do that. Wouldn't work in many different ways, but there's no reason why we can't like slowly stop investing in oil and start investing in new ideas.
Yep.
Things for the future.
Solar power, wind power.
Like we don't have to take it all. We can just leave the rest of it. You know what I mean? It doesn't all have to come out before we say, okay, we're done with it now. Like it doesn't all have to be.
The last drop. No. But in the form of protesting, I don't know. You gotta think of it like you're a mechanic. Say. No, that's not a good one.
You gotta think. You can't compare it to.
I understand what you guys are saying. Like, oh, okay, you piss off the government, but what I'm
piss off the companies. You gotta piss off the people to piss off the companies, though.
The point is to cause mass inconvenience. You're mad because you get inconvenienced. That's the point.
That is the point.
But it's not the fucking point.
Yes,
because,
it is.
Dude, it's not because I understand that, yes, the government now goes, oh, this many people were held up at the train. Okay, I get that. What I'm trying to say is that ask the 200,000 people that sat in Union Station that have zero fucking say in the matter what they think about having to sit there and be held up. That's what I'm trying to fucking say.
That's exactly the point.
But
That's what they're trying to do is make all those people in Union Station angry.
At protesters, not at the company.
Inconvenience. They're angry at the protesters, of course. And everybody knows they're angry at the protesters.
That's what I'm trying to say is that I'm behind protesting things. I'm not behind putting a halt to industries to prove a point because you affect a lot more people than just the people making the... I understand that, right. Yes, okay.
But in the grand scheme of things, these people had to sit in a crowded station for a lot longer than they should have had to. Big fucking deal. Are you kidding me?
Let me say
position?
Something. I get it from both ends. Yeah, it's an inconvenience to everybody, but all those people are like, oh, why is this happening? Now those people know why.
They're interested in why.
Whether
how many
they're
of
mad...
those people might not have had any clue? And how many people, like, if I was there, I'd be pretty pissed. I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? I want to go home. But if I knew why, in the back of my head, I'd be like, yeah, I'm angry. I want to go home. But, I mean, I also respect the right of these people to protest. And I respect what they're protesting. It's shitty that I'm caught up in the whole situation. It's really fucking shitty and bullshit. But
bro, people have a right. People have a right to protest. People have a right to go home. Your right to protest does not trump people's right to go about their life.
No, it does. Man. You can because you can protest things. That's such a pathetic thing.
You can protest things without barricading entire fucking highways and rail systems.
But it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. The inconvenience that people are complaining about doesn't actually matter. It doesn't ruin anybody's life. In the grand scheme of things, who cares? So you had a bad night because you had to go home late.
These people's lands are gonna get trampled.
There's people's land is gonna, or there's literally think way outside of that. Like there's.
I'm not saying don't protest.
There's people who don't even have a home to go to.
Holy fuck! Like, I'm not saying don't protest.
No, but you're saying is that don't inconvenience people and don't make people so they can't go home. Like I don't get what you're saying. Protest shit, but don't let anybody get upset about it. Like that's the stupidest thing. That's the point.
So the coronavirus is a thing that's happening in China.
That's happening everywhere.
Everywhere, really, but it's the big part. Like a lot of people in China, like dying and stuff. Like people are dying everywhere again. But let's talk about that, because this is obviously too heated of a conversation to be had in this room right now. So, fuck politics and protesting for the rest of the night.
Corona.
It goes good with Lyme disease. Heard.
It's actually called that because of the shape of the virus.
I didn't know. I was just assuming there was a better reason for it to be called that.
Is that a shape?
Because it has, like, from a microscope, it has a corona. Like you think of the sun has a corona?
Okay. Yeah. I remember somebody hearing that. It's like an aura. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a physical part of it.
Yeah,
it's not,
but
like,
it
giving off. But it looks
kind
like
of like the thing around the sun.
Yeah, the thing that'll blind you if you look at it. Yeah.
Stare at it too long.
That's why it's called that. But yeah, that's pretty fucking bad too.
That's a lot.
What? You have it here, it says 37 locations internationally, and that's like, obviously internationally means everywhere, but like North America's had some, like obviously Asia's had some.
I think most of Asia's been affected at this point.
Here's a little map here.
I can't see that.
It's a very little map.
Oh, that's better.
So yeah, it's mostly in the Asian areas, Malaysia,
Australia,
Cambodia, Singapore, Philippines. Like they've got the biggest dots. The bigger the dots, the more people are. It's not just like trying to. It's actually.
China is literally just one giant dot.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like the Japanese
over
flag.
Here in North America, we're actually doing okay, guys. We're all right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think Canada's in the 3 to 10 area. U.S. is 11 to 100. They don't have 100. It's less than 20, I think. But.
Right. That's a big number. They gotta squeeze into a small dot.
Yeah, I mean the biggest circle is 5,000, greater than 5,000.
Which is pretty much China. That's right.
Yeah, I think they've got the big one. Yeah. Well, so in China, excuse me. In China's where it mostly is.
Yeah, it's where it's originated, is it not?
Yeah. Yeah. The issue, I mean, and that's still where it mostly is. That's where the highest percentage of contracted illness and deaths are.
Yeah.
There's 79,000 confirmed cases. But
globally,
77,000 of them are in China.
Yeah.
So that's like
almost 90%, more than 90%.
A fair bit.
97%.
Only 2,000 confirmed outside of China. And when you think of those 2,000, when you think like in Canada, like we have, what was it? What circle were we?
The 1 to 10.
The 3 to 10.
3 to 10.
3 to 10. Yeah. So if you live in a country like the United States or Canada, you should be aware of it, be alert, wash your hands.
Yep.
If you have been traveling, maybe, and you should maybe
check
if you've been traveling, especially to like China, get checked out.
An Asian country of sort probably would be safe to get yourself checked.
But
I do like how some of the smallest dots on there are Canada and Russia, because not even diseases want to survive in the cold.
Maybe that. Hey, you know what? A lot of the cold countries. I mean, that's common for a lot of different viruses. Not all viruses, but
but obviously
that could be something. But I mean, if you look at Egypt, though,
Egypt's pretty small.
I feel like isn't Egypt still going through a whole thing where not a lot of people are traveling there right now?
So, I think so.
Yeah, it's been going on for a while.
Yeah, so I mean, there are certain places like that, like Israel and.
Well, you have all of
Lebanon and Israel.
All of South America is grayed out.
There's huge, tons of places that don't have it. Yeah.
Well, reported cases.
Reported, yeah. But if it was serious, if there were any, it would have been.
Exactly. Is that like most of Africa, just unaffected?
Yeah, pretty much.
Most of South America unaffected.
Yeah.
Too hot.
Well, I wonder. I don't know.
It's too hot in the south. It's too warm in the north.
Too cold in the north.
It does seem to be hovering around the middle,
Yeah. I feel like that's most.
Maybe we'll get lucky, and that's just what it'll be. It
doesn't like the cold.
Yeah.
That's how it evolves. We've all played Plague Inc. We all know how diseases work.
Yeah.
It's exactly how they work, right?
We know how it could evolve.
Yeah.
Those are all the options. No variations. And
there's a guy behind the computer that's like, it should be good in the cold.
A lot of people, I mean, I don't know when they actually started calling it this. It's starting to be more popular. Name COVID-19 is what it's officially being called now.
Yeah.
Because coronavirus is actually just a type of virus. There have been, you could get a common cold and it could be a coronavirus, but not this one. It was called. They were calling it novel coronavirus because novel also means new.
Yeah.
So it's a new coronavirus. So they called it COVID-19.
It's a real bad cold, pretty much. That's gonna kill you.
It could be.
Death cold.
Well, that's the thing. There's been cases.
Cold.
It says here there's been cases ranging from very serious to not too serious.
Yeah.
Obviously to death in some situations.
Anywhere from like from like a cold.
You feel like from a common cold,
to dying.
To like you actually, exactly.
Literally like 0 to 100.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you treat something like that? It's like, you got to hit every end of the spectrum.
I don't know even what they're doing for treatment. Probably just standard, like what they can do, like help it along.
Here's antibiotics. Here's all sorts of shit.
Yeah. I don't know if antibiotics would work against it.
No.
It's not a bacteria, it's a virus.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how that shit works.
Well, it's the thing I thought was kind of cool about this article was their subject and focus was risk communications to address stigma.
Right.
And this is an official WHO document. I'll share it. But they literally went out of their way to basically tell people to be nice to one another and not like be like not to have like stigmas against people from, especially from Asian countries, or if you know somebody has just come in from out of the country, like whether they're Asian or not, don't automatically have a stigma. Or like some like me, I've got a cough right now. You know, I'm worried. Like, are people looking at me like, yeah, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right. But I'm fine now. Like the worst of my cold came and gone.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, right, somebody could look at me and be like, "Hey, are you sick? What the hell? You know what I mean?
Stay away."
Like,
you kind of look Asian.
Hey, you've been traveling. Yeah, you know what? It's like, so they literally went out of their way to tell people to be nice to one another.
That's fucking crazy. Like, as if you have to put out a statement to be like, "Hey, don't be dicks to each other. We're trying to deal with something."
Well, it was like I brought up in the first one that didn't have any audio. The kid that got beat up.
I haven't seen that article. I'll take your word for it. But I mean, that's pretty fucking intense too. Like,
right? Can you imagine?
I haven't read that either. I'll look into it after.
Look into it right now while we talk.
If I find it, and if you find it, we'll link it. But honestly, anybody who decides that you want to physically attack a sick person because they're sick, you're the stupidest fuck in the world, because you're gonna get sick.
Because you're gonna get
like, really? Like, come on. How do you think these things, you know? If it's not airborne, it's from physical contact, and you're sure as shit getting physical contact if you're kicking someone's ass. Yeah, it's the stupidest thing. I don't know.
I'm gonna.
This is a different one.
Virus.
Yeah, like... I'm gonna punch the virus out of you.
Here's one.
Right.
This isn't the one I was thinking of, but CNN in New York City, a man assaulted a woman wearing a face mask, calling her a diseased bitch.
Holy fuck! What the fuck? Wow. Yeah. Yep. See, like.
On a Los Angeles
he
subway.
He assaulted her. Like, maybe he pushed her. That's still assault. So who knows if the article doesn't go into it.
It doesn't. No. The next one just says, on a Los Angeles subway, a man proclaims Chinese people are filthy and says every disease ever came from China.
Wow.
Nice.
So listen.
Like, don't do that shit. Don't be a racist.
That's right here. This is from the World Health Organization. These are the people who are usually responsible for things that aren't related to, you know, bullying.
Yeah. Right?
Guys, don't disease bully.
Stigma occurs when people negatively associate an infectious disease, such as COVID-19, with a specific population. In the case of COVID-19, there are an increasing number of reports of public stigmatization against people from areas affected by the epidemic. Unfortunately, this means that people are being labeled, stereotyped, separated, and/or experience loss of status and discrimination because of potential negative affiliation with the disease. Given that COVID-19 is a new disease, it's understandable that its emergent can cause confusion, anxiety, and fear among the general public. These factors can give rise to harmful stereotypes. And guys, if you're wondering, well, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Well, if you make somebody think that they are gonna, you know, be centered out or stigmatized for having a disease, it could drive them to hide the illness to avoid discrimination, prevent them from seeking healthcare immediately, which could potentially spread it to others or harm themselves further, and discourage them from adopting healthy behaviors
like washing their hands,
or
showering, or leaving the house.
Well, actually
that would be if
not leaving the house is probably not a bad idea.
Yeah,
That's
not a good
thing.
one.
Barricades doors.
Yeah, I appreciated, but also was a little baffled by the fact that they even had to go out of their way to mention, like,
right? But
I guess also shouldn't be surprised.
You really shouldn't, for like as long as these things have happened, like as long as there have like been people to discriminate against, they've basically found a way to do it. Like, I mean, AIDS was the big one in like, I mean, a good number of years.
Do you guys know
now, before our lifetime? But I mean, like, you know what I mean? I see shit like this and I'm surprised by it in the sense of like, I'm surprised that it's still happening, but I'm not surprised. That's weird. That's weird to say that out loud. I'm not surprised that it's still happening, but I'm surprised that it's happening.
Yeah, because it's something you look back on, like the AIDS and discriminating gays because of it. It's like that was in our terms a long time ago. Like we didn't. It was
before our lifetime, but it wasn't that long ago.
Well, it's still,
you look back,
it carried on through our lifetime though. Like, it still has.
That's true.
Even to this day, there's still some people who.
Oh, for sure, but like I mean, like having news, like having people like newspapers report on it. Like we're long past that. Like, and that's kind of where we're coming to with things like this. People are like, oh my god, coronavirus and Japan, those Asians are bad. It's just like I don't understand how people make that conclusion. Like, I mean, and people are like, oh, a lot of diseases come from China. How many fucking people are in China?
Yeah,
what do you expect? Like I'm sure a lot of diseases come from India or places like that too, where there's large populations in small places. It doesn't have anything to do with the people there. It has to do with how many people basically live on top of each other, right? Like, look at a place like the Philippines, or like where populations are so high and lands are so small. It's easy for things like that
to get out of hand fast. Yeah. Well, and you look into healthcare and like,
and there's way more things besides the people that live in a country. Like, look at a healthcare infrastructure. How readily available is a doctor? You know what I mean? Like, that's a huge factor into
this stuff. Mm-hmm. Which, when you have that many people, I bet you it's hard sometimes to find a doctor right away when you have. How many people live in China? Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly. I'm not even gonna get into China healthcare because I have no idea what they have there. I have no idea.
Nobody does.
I know they built a whole hospital just for the outbreak.
In what, like 6 days?
They built 2 hospitals.
Two hospitals, yeah. Like that's, but I mean that's as far.
That boggled me because here we are here. It takes like 8 months to fix a road.
We can't get a fucking highway built in a summer, and these guys are like, "Hey, bring in the hospital!"
They literally put down a red curtain, and then 6 days later, like, hey,
they bring out a dude with a hat and like a little wand, like, ha!
Yeah, China. That's crazy though. When I heard that, how fast they built them, like that.
The longest part of building those facilities was leveling the property.
Probably.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I wonder if they 3D printed the buildings.
They were.
Well, they have those.
There's a lot of companies in China, I guess, right? There's probably companies in the States that do it too, but there's a lot more of them there, and they mass produce not buildings, but panels that can be built into buildings. Like, you frame it, and then you just say, "Oh, I want this many windows," and they say, "Hey, we make sections of walls
like Lego
with this," and they come in on trucks and they just attach it to a framework, and it's like, "Oh, boom, here's your building."
Well, you get enough people working around the clock
cool.
too.
That's true. Yeah.
Well,
you got full teams working 24/7.
On a small scale, look at, like, as an example, Extreme Makeover Home Edition.
Yeah.
And they literally have a huge community of people build an entire house in a week.
That's true.
Right? So it's, I mean, to think like an army of people, 5, maybe 10, I don't know, way bigger. Like, there's a Chinese army of builders. It's a Chinese building army.
They're like,
the company that built the 2 hospitals is like the largest construction company in China. They're the same company that built all the. They're currently doing all the stuff for the Olympics.
Okay.
So like they're that just blows my mind. Like, you look at some of the pictures of like the number of equipment and like things like that they have working at one time. It's like, who's coordinating?
Right?
Who's
takes
like
mass? Yeah.
Well,
I don't know, man. Some of the people I work can't even come back from a lunch break on time, let alone fucking.
It's like that opening scene in the Lego Movie when he's in the construction site.
Yeah.
Everything's like going all over the place and getting put together. People are literally like crossing paths like within inches of one another.
Yeah.
And girders are flying around and yeah. Everybody's
well-oiled machine.
When you think about it, it's like a hive mind.
The B movie's like that too, actually. Yeah. The opening scene of the B movie when they're all like conversing around the hive is very.
Well, like it's almost like they work like ants. Like there's like people in charge, and they just give the order, and everybody just swarms to that spot, and it's just like a bunch of little. It's you think when you think about it like that, like there's a queen, or there's your president. It's like, I need this built in 6 days, and they're just like, all right. And everybody you get all those people, and there's a lot of them, obviously. I don't know. It's just cool to think of it like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Be interesting to watch, just see it go up. Like, like not as a like even a time lapse, but just be there.
Imagine working somewhere else and you have to drive by there on your way to work.
Oh, every day.
And you leave work in the morning and you're like, oh, cool, it looks kind of flat. You come back at 5 or 6 and it's like
8 stories.
Fuck, there's walls. Like, I think there's lights on in there. What the hell? Like,
oh man.
Yeah, it's like
you go home and call the guy renovating your house. Like, I hate to put you under the gun, but like, I'm watching these guys build a hospital in seconds. Like,
you wouldn't even need a time lapse. It'll just be going that fast, right?
It would be though cool to see it day by day, like, and actually see the progression throughout an entire day. Like 6 days isn't a long time, so it wouldn't be too long to just sit there and watch the building.
I don't know how big the hospitals are either, so like.
It's just like the amount of...
The one's 1,000 beds and the one's 600 or 700, I think, that they built. They're just they're overflow hospitals. Really.
Yeah.
Like, I mean...
And it's just for people with the coronavirus, yeah.
What do you do? Like, do they just have, like, random plots of land? They're just like, hey,
tear
down this empty house?
I'm 99% sure the Chinese government owns all the land.
Well,
they just build it wherever the fuck they want.
Like, you need to move. Why? Well, we got to put a hospital here.
Yeah, they don't even ask why.
That's true.
Like, okay, we're going.
Yeah.
Let me pack up my 2 briefcases and my children. And that's like, they're out.
Child.
Yeah, child.
I don't know, actually. They probably, I don't know if they still have that now.
They lifted that.
Yeah, I think they lifted that.
Yeah. 2 children.
Yeah.
They didn't lift it, they raised it. They didn't lift the log. They
raised the bar, like, you're right. They raised the limit.
Now you can aim for a boy and a girl.
There was can't remember what channel I was watching talking about it, but somebody was talking about how they might have raised it not so much because of, like, obviously the population is an issue, but like they were saying that it led to having a generation of only children led to a lot of like social issue, like not really like issues, but like a lack of children knowing how to share things,
right?
Like things like that, right? Like, and there's people talking about like just like the
only children,
the psychological effects of only having only children, right? Like
like a whole. That's when you think about the mass amounts of only children.
It's crazy because how much communication do you think you learn just by having a sibling?
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah.
So, like, yeah, it makes sense.
Never
I didn't think about it
though, but yeah, like, it would have, like, a wave effect on the whole country, especially with a population like theirs.
Just because, like, I've heard a lot of people say that, like, raising your second child is a little bit easier than your first because the second one kind of learns things from the older one.
True.
So like it would take longer for, like, I guess not longer because the standard would be all the same, but you'd have a longer learning curve for like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like,
well,
I don't know. Like I'm not a psychologist or anything, but I was just like, I wonder if everybody didn't have a sibling. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, hopefully it is.
Siblings were just never a thing. It'd be
it's crazy. Like,
it is, when you think about it.
It's a really antisocial world.
I want to interject just for a moment, just to mention to everybody, if anytime we're talking negative things about China, it's 100% about the Chinese government and all the shit they do.
Yeah.
Chinese culture and the Chinese people it's beautiful. I love it. I don't think any of us have anything against any of that. So
I want to go visit
I know it's easy to just say China this, China that, and everybody's like, what's wrong with China? It's specifically the Chinese government
is fucked up.
We're not gonna. Who's gonna say Chinese government every single time they refer to China? And you know what I mean?
Not specifically Chinese people.
Yeah,
but when
Chinese parliament,
perfectly okay with anybody. I don't care. Yeah.
But has anybody actually put a picture of Winnie the Pooh beside the president? Because I don't think that they look that similar.
I've seen them together, side by side.
Do you think they look that similar? Or do you think he just took that way too literal and was like, screw Winnie the Pooh, you're banned?
No, not everybody else took it way too literal, I think. I think you're kind of right. Like, you put them side by side, and, I mean, you could put Winnie the Pooh beside anybody's face. You could put anything
it's like one of the first memes.
Like, I could put you two's beside each other and then be like, and
find
things that looked right. I'm like, yeah, they kind of look. You know what I mean? Like, you could do it with anything. And when you have lots of people memeing about it, and then everybody else
phenomenon where people see chips that are shaped like states, and they're like,
or Jesus on toast.
Yeah. Some asshole has a toaster that literally puts Jesus' face on the toast.
Oh man, what was that?
I think that's that's what it is, and.
Or grilled cheeses.
Grilled cheeses.
That's actually from Glee. The guy makes a freaking grilled cheese, and he looked at it and it's got a picture of Jesus.
I mean, they probably have a toaster that does that. They have one like they have a Star Wars one.
Oh, they definitely have one that prints Jesus.
I seen a waffle iron the other day. Like, I seen it online, but it was a waffle iron that made waffles in the shape of Texas. I was like, that's pretty good.
World's largest waffles.
It's a waste of waffle.
Right?
Because there's all that other waffle that you cut out.
Oh, dude, it was the weirdest. And, like, no. It was a circular iron.
Okay.
And right in the middle was a layout of Texas. But there was so much wasted.
No.
Like
it wasn't
pancake.
a circle waffle.
The waffle is shaped like Texas, but the whole iron is still, like, as big as a normal iron.
Right, so you lose all that waffle.
Just the cooking area is Texas, and it's just... I don't know, man.
You would think they would just make it like a rectangle.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna find a picture and show you.
Have a round waffle maker that makes the full waffle, but have the middle part, maybe the grid is different. So the grid line in the waffle
like
there
is
shaped as Texas in the regular.
Well, I even think just make it a rectangle, then you're not wasting all that.
Or just don't
Texas
make it.
waffle maker.
Yeah, look at all that waffle you don't get.
Just make it make the waffle maker the shape of Texas.
Why don't you make mini Texas?
No, I just mean literally though. You still make a waffle that's missing all the other waffles.
That's true.
I'll be fair though, they're kind of big. It's like a whole plate. So I mean, like
a whole waffle would be the whole plate.
The same size.
It would fill in the little gaps.
I was just thinking like, but.
All that white space on the plate would be filled with a circle waffle.
Maybe that's smart, because that's where you can put your syrup and shit. It doesn't get all over.
Holes in the waffle are for.
I don't know.
Have you ever eaten a waffle, Gage?
I have, but like...
You don't put the syrup in the holes?
It just makes a mess is all I'm saying, bro.
Whoa, man. Where were we going with that?
Yeah, I don't even know how that...
I bet you that's made in China.
You asked me when we talked...
I really want it to be made in China. Oh my god. $
10 says it's made in China. Everything was made there. Oh, what did I see the other day? This was bad. It was funny though. It's like you bubble wrap poppers better stop popping that bubble wrap. That air comes from China.
Oh my god.
It's like
But so what I want to say. The memes and the jokes when people us and I'm sure most of the people watching us, they understand memes and jokes.
I would hope.
We're explaining to you right now if you don't, so listen the fuck up. The memes and the jokes are good as long as they're like that's
in proper
that air
taste.
comes from that's technically true as well. It's not like it's.
I'm not saying
you
dirty bastards and pushing the Chinese people on the street.
Yeah, it's not a
It's good. It's sometimes to get through things you gotta make jokes.
And if you can say the joke and know that obviously I can still pop the things and I'm gonna be fine, then you know what I mean. If there's somebody literally that is popping them and reads that and goes, come on, guys. It's a joke, okay?
I'm
chill. It's not gonna happen. Really?
Looks at the bubble wrap, looks at the screen.
It's a petri dish. They've been doing it all along.
how all the diseases.
Actually, that's probably a conspiracy theory somewhere. I wouldn't doubt.
There's some people with their tinfoil hats not popping bubble wrap.
That are probably like, yeah, they're using it to transport biological weapons.
Straight up.
Because they know we're gonna pop it.
Straight up, they're just like emailing the delivery companies.
Google that right now. It's probably not you guys. Don't worry about it. But
It's
I'm
a
just saying,
conspiracy.
it's probably out there. I'm sure it's actually. It sounds like it would
imagine?
be.
People are crazy.
People are crazy. Yeah, but yeah.
The Chinese government. That's what we were talking about.
We came back. Yeah, we were just. I was just mentioning. We were talking about. We were touching on a lot of negative China things, and I just wanted to make sure that nobody got the wrong idea. It's obviously the Chinese government that most people have a problem with, and the way they operate.
Well, just look at and it's kind of made fun of, but honestly, the stuff that they just don't allow because the president's just I don't.
Well, you talked about Pooh Bear. Yeah.
Pooh Bear, yeah.
The answer to your question is
holy fuck, guys.
Oh no.
Is it real? Did he actually?
Can popping bubble wrap from China expose you to coronavirus?
Oh,
Snopes.
No. Snopes, okay.
And there's somebody's fact checking it.
Glad it's on Snopes. Snopes is a great place to fact check things, people.
But something along those lines does come, and I searched bubble wrap conspiracy. So I mean,
that was the first thing. I mean, it's relevant.
It was the third, but yeah.
Okay. I mean, when I look at the first 5 things on Google, I usually call those the first thing.
They're relevant.
The first page that loads up that you can see without scrolling is the first thing in my mind.
Right.
This post this is from 2014.
Whoa, what?
When you pop bubble wrap, you're releasing a byproduct
There's a whole Reddit
of
on
the
that.
import.
There's a Reddit on that. So I mean, this is nothing new.
They're trying to export all their pollution, one bubble at a time. Oh, this is from 2014, yeah.
So people have to be, I don't know, man.
I think that's hilarious, but at the same time, back then when the disease was
let's be fair. If somehow a virus could survive in those little bubbles, it's not a bad way to do biological warfare. Yeah. I'm not trying to give any countries any nefarious
They know our
ideas.
ADHD asses are just
fucking
right? Why?
But I mean, I don't even know if a virus could survive in that. You know what I mean? Who knows? I don't know.
It should be something they should test.
Who knows? The process of filling it could come from it could be sterilized. You don't know. The machine could be sterilized.
See a video today, guys. Actually, I wonder what the process is on.
Right? I have no. Who knows?
Question.
Maybe it's filling Mars.
I bet there's a house made.
You know those big. I guess they're not really bubble wrap, but they come in rows and they're the big pouches, shipping pouches.
Yeah.
They're yay big.
Oh yeah, we get those all the time.
They're all connected. Okay. So there's a video on YouTube floating around of a small child sitting on the floor with a row of these things, man. And he takes his forehead and just boom, and he breaks the first one. And then he goes to the second one and he boom! And he breaks the second one, right? And then he hits the third one and it doesn't break. And you see the kid, look at the thing and kind of boom! Full face into the floor, it hurt a little bit, but then I laughed,
the parents sitting there just oh, this kid's got brain damage.
Dude, the parent was talking to the kid hey, maybe that's not a badonk? Does that not badonk? Is that maybe not a good idea? But don't Mom, you're failing. Shut the fuck up.
Put the phone down and actually grab me. Stop me from hitting my head.
In 2 weeks, TikTok won't matter, but your child might have a
No, that's how the future should be. Just let the bad parents be bad parents. Let the good parents be good parents. Take the warning labels off of everything. Actually, slap it to ring.
Everything.
Yeah, off of everything. No warning labels.
Not saying we kill off the stupid people. I'm just saying we take the warning labels off and let the problem figure itself out.
We'll take that off.
Yeah.
We'll take
if you're stupid
that
enough,
off. We'll take
remember this.
all those off. Actually, you know what? This can would basically be white without warning labels. So it's fuck it. White can's better anyways.
Don't point at people's eyes.
That was fucking amazing.
Imagine if I was pointing at my eye, could have killed me. Could have blinded me.
Who's that?
Oh man. Just remember, next time that you ever have a compressed air source.
Yeah, don't point
Don't point at
people. Not with the straw in, anyways. And actually, don't even do it anyways. Don't point at your eye for real. Yeah. It's not even a joke.
Bad idea.
Yeah. Or any open...
Any aerosol, anything. Don't point at your eyes. Doesn't matter. Especially, it's not just air in there, okay?
Maybe they should make aerosol like the eye drops. What do they make your eyes not be red? Visine. Aerosol vibes.
It'd be aerosol. It'd be like a pump spray, but would that work though?
I don't know.
Like it gets a nice, like you'd have to dab. It'd be wasteful, I think.
It's your whole face.
Well, it'd be like a little, like a perfume type of bottle, right? Like a.
That'd be some stoners that was like
going into work is just like, hey man, you smoked today? Looks over and their face is just like shiny, like
no man.
No, bro, I didn't smoke today. Why? Like,
his eyes are white, but his face is just.
Hey, hey, Adam, can we talk to you? Yo, boss man, what's up? Like,
Jesus.
We've noticed your face has been a little shiny lately.
Wait a minute, what? That wasn't a side effect.
Oh fuck! I'm using it wrong.
Jesus. Back to the warning labels off. Don't break those either. They blow up.
Oh.
Cans?
Any aerosol can? Is that what you're referring
Generally,
to?
yeah.
Are you referring to that good old tale from back when we were kids in the woods?
Yeah,
and
Jesse took a hatchet to a spray paint can because we were all like, yeah, it's a good idea. I know that's going to happen.
It's not a...
painted his face gray.
Yeah. You guys are fucking idiots.
His face... And when I say his face was gray, it's not like it was splotched. It was like if you got a nice, smooth coating of gray paint on somebody's face. That's what it was. Yeah, it was perfectly coated, and he was gone.
He's monogamy people.
Yo, he was so gone, and he ran home like blind. He couldn't see.
He ran to the lake first.
That's right.
He went to his home first.
And he still beat us, didn't he?
No, he probably couldn't hear shit, to be honest with you. They would have popped so loud, he probably couldn't hear fuck all.
It wasn't too loud.
I don't even know how.
Maybe it made his ears. So he was probably about like from my hand to
a good like arm's length. Like
dead in the middle. The can itself went both ways.
Well,
the paint went up, got him. Hatchet was on the ground, also the same color as his face. Like it was just gray. And he like lightning. Like we didn't even see what way he went. He just ran.
Gone.
Yeah, we went looking for him. He went to the lake to try and wash it off. His dad had to use paint remover on his face.
Dad used paint remover on a scrubby.
That wasn't pleasant.
I think he more or less did the scrubby to
just to teach him a lesson. Yeah, he used the little scrubby pad on the sponge to get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and like scrubbed his face with paint remover.
Yeah.
Fucking tomogamy people.
Yeah, we got bored.
Wasn't
a whole lot to do.
We finished building the fort. Well, like now what the fuck do we do?
Exactly. Fort?
No, man, it was a tree fort. We built that at a
ground tree fort.
Yeah,
it was
a good
dope.
It was a good fort.
It's still back there.
It was one of our better ones.
It was sturdy. Yeah, and then we did stupid shit like that at it.
Yeah. What do you do when it's finished building? Well, you fucking do stupid shit at it. Yeah. What good is a fort for?
What do you guys do? Not stupid shit?
Yeah. What do you do at your fort?
We're sitting at...
I bet you do stupid shit at your fort.
Yeah.
How 7th graders flex on each other.
Yeah.
Good time. I don't even know if we were in 7th grade.
Yeah, we would have been.
We would have, yeah.
Why?
We were visiting, yeah. Dad still lived there. We were visiting. Mm-hmm. Way off topic.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Many moons.
It was. Now that I look back, that was a long time ago.
But that's why you shouldn't open those cans up, especially with an axe, especially when it's full. If you empty it, there's still pressure in there.
It'll pop, but you probably
there's less of a chance of it. Yeah, there's less of a chance of it. Well, and it could have like hit him too.
Oh, 100%.
We got lucky. His eyes, I guess, closed before it got in his eyes too.
He probably closed his eyes when he swung.
The axe with his eyes closed.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Hits his shin. Like I don't know. Like...
He probably. I feel like the sound. You know, when a loud like a sound hits and you blink. I feel like the sound of the axe hitting the can maybe made him blink, but he heard the sound of the can going and his instincts kept them closed, so he got lucky. I think didn't get any in his eyes at all.
Yeah, fuck. It's fun times.
And it doesn't. Yeah, spray paint. Fucking any aerosol can will do that. Don't do that shit. You see YouTube videos of people doing shit.
Fires either.
Stand out of the way. Make sure it's not facing towards you.
You got like a face mask. I don't know.
Protect your nuts. Protect your face mask.
Bix and fires is fun.
I remember as a kid.
Don't try this at home.
Well, that's another thing. Like, it's fun, but imagine, like, it pops, right? Something goes off
it's
in
all
one
fun and
direction.
games
What if it
until
goes
you
up in
stand
this direction, you know? And I don't say don't do it, because I do it too. It's fucking fun.
Oh, I did it all the time as a kid.
I know there's...
still would.
Drinking.
I know there are people who do it and don't think about, you know?
You don't think about the dangers. You just whip it in. Like,
if I was to do it, I wouldn't do it when the whole campfire is surrounded by people, right?
Somebody would.
There's people out there who would be like, "Hey, every single person surrounding this fire, watch this."
Yeah.
And somebody's going to get hit with it.
Throws a handful of Vicks.
I mean, the fact that you just mentioned it means somebody out there
probably
will do it.
Yeah.
Like,
guys, I'm going to throw a handful of AAAs into there. Like, watch this shit.
I'd be worried
what
about
happens
the
when you
Bix
put AAA in there? It blows up.
Batteries, yeah.
I'm going to put a battery in a fire. I didn't think about that. I'll have to try it.
Get a lithium rechargeable and unravel it.
And then throw it in?
No, just
unravel it?
Just don't get it wet.
And then lick it, right?
Yeah, lick it.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
No, it is if you open a lithium battery, like those lithium ion ones, it's actually like just a ribbon that's rolled up.
Oh.
And if it gets wet, it'll catch fire. It'll ignite. Yeah, it's like this bright blue flame. That's what happens when lithium gets wet.
I want to try that. I'm gonna fuck around.
If you try it, I've seen it. You watch a YouTube video or anything
first, yeah, usually.
But I mean, shit like this, these experiments, like, you know, obviously don't just throw a Bic in a fire surrounded by people. But if you have like a controlled situation and you want to experiment, I'm okay with that kind of shit. Do that.
If you want to figure out what a Bic does in a fire, wear
goggles or even a face mask. Use like one of those fireplaces people make out of old dryer basins.
Yeah.
Get one of those, right?
That'll be a nice sound.
Everything. That'll make a great sound. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I don't know. You could do it safely, or just watch somebody else do it. Satisfy your, YouTube's got everybody.
Oh yeah, you can find anything you want to.
King of Random.
YouTube.
King of Random's great.
They're great for that kind of stuff. Yeah.
They literally do just anything.
Random.
Sometimes I'll tap on one and I'll be like, I don't feel like this one was a good idea, but I respect that they tried.
But I respect that. That's just it. It's like it is random. That's 100% it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Read the title and you're like, wait, what? What are they putting in a microwave today?
It is useful too. I like their videos mostly because even the most pointless, mundane things, like it's the kind of shit that we would do as kids.
Yeah.
And it's like other kids might watch that and see that it actually doesn't do anything but make a mess and be like, oh, okay, I won't do that.
I won't just make a mess.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's good.
It's like the good old shows we used to watch. Don't microwave this. Actually, we didn't microwave any of that stuff.
No. Fuck no. I don't think we ever really microwaved anything.
I don't think we fucked with the microwave too much.
Yeah, I think we were smart enough at least to know that.
Yeah, stuff blows up in microwaves.
Yeah, microwaves just weren't things to play with.
But fire.
Yeah.
Fire and axes.
I mean, hey, you live in a small town. Fire just kind of comes with it.
Yeah,
you know? You're
fire and axes. And
all that sort of shit. Anything
you can get your hands on at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
That wasn't a microwave.
I mean, it's back to caveman shit, right? Fire, blunt and sharp objects, trekking through the woods.
Yep, we grew up as cavemen, just with houses to go to.
Cave people thing. Well, guys.
Yeah, probably.
That's been an hour.
We are at an hour, pretty much on the dot. So it was good. We covered a few different things. We got topical.
Lots of things.
Yeah, and
it got a little heated at one point,
but
that adds to the entertainment.
You know what? That's entertaining for the people.
Some Alex Jones shit going on over here.
I wouldn't say Alex Jones shit. We weren't being psychotic and completely unreasonable.
I go out and face these people. They literally crawl out.
Everybody who protests is an alien, and their only supporters are liberals and liberal aliens.
Liberal aliens. I've seen them with my own eyes.
Yeah,
they're aliens.
They visit me in my sleep. They stand over me when I'm sleeping. All right, we're gonna call it, guys.
Yeah, I think that's
Thank
it.
you all so much for
When
watching.
you start making fun of Alex Jones, it's just
time
like,
to
yeah,
go.
that's enough.
Yeah.
Stoop to the lowest of lows.
That was episode 2 Beaver Fever, guys.
Yep.
Have a wonderful night.
Where can you find us?
On Instagram,
Social
Facebook,
medias,
and Twitter.
Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at BeaverFever_NB.
Unless you're on the Facebook, then it's just Beaver Fever NB.
Yes,
We didn't fuck it up that time.
No siree.
You can find me right now mostly on Twitch, twitch.tv/screamingalien. And you can also join our Discord server. I know Adam is actually more active on there now, so if you ping him, he'll probably reply eventually. Gage may reply to a ping. I'm not 100% sure.
I might.
He pops on every once in a while to figure out when we're gonna shoot. So yeah, come and hang out. You can just ask questions. We just share memes, jokes, talk about anything you want.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. Come
Good
there.
Stuff. It'll be linked
Those
below,
are our things. Yeah, all the links will be below.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thanks for watching our shit.
And listening.
And
we'll see y'all next time.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Jazz hands.